Hello, it's Anne Marie with AM Astro. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to try the, what's his name? John Frawley's method on a basketball game that's occurring tonight. So it'll be a short uh, check to see if it works or not. Now, he does not, this is just a regular basketball game. I just wanted to see if it would work. And some of you may know, or at least I've mentioned, that my boss is a huge supporter of Southern Methodist University and their Mustangs. He actually played for the Mustangs when he was in college, and he's the chairman of the board of trustees for the university, and he has been instrumental in getting SMU into the ACC. And he was just also instrumental in hiring Jay Hartzell from UT Austin to come and be the next president of Southern Methodist University. So anyway, he's usually at a lot of the basketball games. He's at all the home games, but he's usually at a lot of the away games. But this game he did not go to, and so I don't have to worry about logistics, getting him there, getting his friends there, and getting home. So anyway, so I wanted to try this method to see if I could tell who's going to win. And SMU is favored by 6 points. They're coming off of a three-game win streak. And Virginia Tech, who is like one of my home teams because I grew up in Virginia, and all of my friends that I went to high school with, or not all of them, but a number of them went to Virginia Tech or UVA or James Madison or George Mason, which is where I went. But anyway, so the Hokies, the Mustangs and the Hokies tip off at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight in Blacksburg. And so I have drawn up the chart. So I shall share the screen. Here we go. So, so the favorite, which is the Mustangs by 6 points, is represented by the first house, Lord 1. And so that would be Mercury. And so the first step is to look for placements. So we're looking at Lords 1, 7, and I'm not going to look at 10 and 4 because if you notice, it's Virgo, Pisces, and then Gemini, Sag. And so Lord 1 is Mercury, Lord 7 is Jupiter, Lord 10 is Mercury, Lord 4 is Jupiter. So we can't give the same ruler to both teams. So we're just going to look at Lord 1 and 7. And we're looking for the placement. And so Mercury, which is Lord 1, representing the Mustangs, is here in the 5th house. And we can see things already, but we're not there yet. But we're just looking there at its placement, and it's in the 5th house. Now its antition, hello, Augie, what are you smelling? Yeah, I know, kiss, kiss. The antition is 15 Scorpio, or 14 Scorpio, 14-ish Scorpio, and it would be in the 2nd house. So neither of those house placements screams beneficial. It doesn't say negative either. It just is like meh. So then we're going to look at Lord 7, which is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the 9th house. And we don't look at dignities in this situation. So dignities doesn't matter because Jupiter is just station direct, which would be a good thing, but we're not looking at that. It doesn't matter in this system. So meh. So 9th house, and the antition is literally conjunct Mars here in the 10th house. So that's a positive for the Hokies, the antition being placed in an angular house in the 10th house. And then we look at moon, and the moon is here in the 9th house, and its antition is in the 11th house because it would be 2 degrees something Leo. Okay. And then we don't look at the part of fortune, but we look at the antition of the part of fortune. Who knows why, but this is the system. So the antition is 23 something Sag, and so that would be in the 3rd house. So that doesn't tell us, that doesn't help one way or the other. Okay. So then we look at aspects to or from the moon. And so I'm going to pull up the little, oh, I don't think I have to do that. I can go like this. Ta-da! So this, so the moon's aspects, it was conjunct Uranus 3 degrees 58 minutes ago, which means separating. The S is separating, but that doesn't matter to us because anything that's in the past doesn't matter. We want to look at the applying. And so the moon applying by trine to the ascendant, which is Lord 1 or the Mustangs or the favorite team, whatever you want to say. So that's a ding, ding, ding for the Mustangs. That's about the dang only thing we Mustangs have going for it. And then there's a sextile to Neptune, and then a quincunx to the midheaven, and then a sextile to the north node, trine to the south node, conjunction, which means it changes signs and goes into Gemini. And then there's a sextile to Venus and a trine to Pluto. None of that matters. None of that matters because basketball is even a shorter game than Frawley claims that American football is, because basketball, college basketball is 2 halves and each half is 20 minutes. That's a teeny tiny short amount of time. I mean, and the whole game is over in about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So we don't need to look at all of those applyings way out there. We just want to look at like that one applying by trine to the ascendant is key and important because it's only 29 arc minutes. Okay. Then we want to look at the antition, and here's my antition chart right here. So the antition of Lord 1, so that's Mercury's antition, which is 1459 Scorpio. Like I said, 15, 14, blah, 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 Scorpio, which is over here in the second house, excuse me, is applying to trine the dispositor of the part of fortune. So the part of fortune is in Capricorn, so that means Saturn is the dispositor. And so say 15 Scorpio, 15 degrees water, is applying towards 1759 water, Pisces. So that's a positive for the Mustangs. But then Lord 7, okay, no, it's in the part that, Lord 7 is applying to trine the antition of the dispositor of the part of fortune. That's what's going on, because that's 12 Libra, which would be right here. And so Jupiter, Lord 7, is applying by trine to the antition of the dispositor of the part of fortune. I left a whole lot of that out. Antition of the dispositor of the part of fortune. Okay. And then the dispositor of the part of fortune is applying to trine. That's it. And the antition of Lord 7. So the dispositor of the part of fortune is applying to trine the antition of Lord 7, which the antition is 18 Cancer. So 18 water, 17, almost 18 water. So there's that trine right there. Okay, if I didn't confuse you enough there, I confused myself plenty. Okay, so then we're down to miscellaneous points. And so the miscellaneous points is, I'm going to back out of this and go back to the chart itself. So here we go. So we look at the nodes, and the south node is right here in the first house. Wah, wah, wah. That's no good. Because that also means the north node is in the seventh house, but that's only one testimony. It's not two. But yeah, that's not good. That in itself is almost enough to say that Virginia Tech is going to win. But then the other thing is that Lord 1, Mercury, is combust. Too close to the sun, burned out. So yeah, no bueno. And then the last thing is looking at outer planets, and Pluto isn't affecting anything. I mean, it's opposing the antition of the moon, and Uranus is the moon is separating from the conjunction there. And so again, I don't think that matters. But then Neptune is in the seventh house. And so that could be a negative nilly to Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech seems to have so many more testimonies that I'm going to call it, as much as I hate to, because my boss will be very upset, seeing as SMU is favored by 6 points, but I'm going to call it for Virginia Tech. Hokies. Meh. But we'll see if this works. And we'll know tonight. So I don't have to wait for weeks and weeks or days and days. So I am going to do my Super Bowl look at these charts and see, what I think I've briefly looked at it. And when I looked at it, I think the Eagles were favored. And I haven't looked since, so I'm not sure if the Eagles are still favored. And that is the biggest part here, is because when the favorite is not the home team, it seems to change things a little bit. And so because the other way of looking at it is like Lord One is the home team. And so with my SMU situation here, SMU is the visiting team. And so they're getting as the favorites, and that's something that seems to me to be very arbitrary, but Frawley says to use the favorite as the home team. And so we will quickly find out if the home team should be the first house rather than the favorite. Like if SMU wins big, then I'm going to go back to being the first. Well, at least for basketball, maybe. We're going to try a whole bunch. I mean, because basketball, there's so many basketball games, right? And we're coming up on March Madness. I will have so much fun trying out all of these things for all of those, games. We'll see. But yeah, so that's it for tonight. And thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.